Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Autism is my power. And today I have two guests. I know what I said. I know what the video says. We have Peter Griffin and Peter Griffin. But first, who is these Peter Griffins? Why do they look alike, but I refer to them as two separate characters? Well, I'll get into that real soon. But first, who is Peter Griffin? Well, Peter Griffin's from a show known as Family Guy in 1999. And as we know, Peter Griffin has a family with, who's right here with Lois, Stewie, Meg, and Chris, and Brian as their dog. And the show is mainly about the perspective of Peter, at least for the first 3 seasons, primarily. About how basically Peter needs to take care of his family, as well as different perspectives from his family and his friends, and as they go on wacky adventures. Yes, the show can sometimes focus on other characters like Stewie or Brian, but that's really rare. Mostly in the first 3 seasons, it was mainly about Peter Griffin. Now I'll discuss about this Peter Griffin. This Peter Griffin is mostly from season 7 to what we have now currently. This Peter Griffin is not really the main character, I would say, even though you guys like to believe that. This Peter Griffin is a very different character, but I'll get into that into the next slide. So, why do I refer to these two Peter Griffins as two different characters when they're obviously the same character? Well, for one, let me tell you what I think about Family Guy. Yeah, I'm one of those guys who love the first 4 seasons of Family Guy. Not just the first 3, but yes, the first 4, because I believe Peter is at his absolute best in those actual seasons. Seasons 5 through 6 were okay. They were just okay, but that's like a transition stage. But I would say when Peter's character started getting bad was in season 7 to what we have currently now. But first, I'm going to do something special. I'm going to go over the diagnosis of Peter in the first 3 seasons first. And then I'll go over the diagnosis of modern Peter, which is season 7 through now, and to see how they fare. First, Peter from seasons 1 through 4. Peter wasn't perfect during these seasons, but he was a really upstanding guy. He was our, family guy. And Peter, though, had his flaws, he was still a very nice father figure for his kids, and even a decent husband for Lois. So, I will say that Peter has a lot of diagnoses, or mental disorders for that matter, during this era, but I'm only going to give him 3, which is ADHD, oppositional defiance disorder, and there's a new one, but I'll go over that later. First, guys, I think it's pretty obvious that Peter has ADHD, as basically he doesn't pay attention that well as him being very hyperactive and always being distracted, with those chicken fights in the beginning of season 2. Yeah, he obviously has ADHD. But what about oppositional defiant disorder? Well, with oppositional defiant disorder, he's mostly defined with people who are higher up than him. Yes, you usually give this to children, but Peter is a bit of a special case. Guys, I think we know his condition, but I can't say that on YouTube because it's like a slur now. So we're just going to say Peter is mentally challenged in these earlier seasons. But not really. But anyway, yeah, he definitely has oppositional defiant disorder because he doesn't really listen to people higher up than him, like Lois. Now, even though Lois and Peter are equal, Lois is obviously more wise than Peter and more intelligent. And also, he doesn't listen to his bosses as well during these seasons. And he doesn't really listen to anybody who he's under as well. And he also acts very childish when he doesn't get his way and very aggressive. So I would say he definitely has oppositional defiant disorder. And lastly, here's a new one, guys. I also believe that Peter has dependent personality disorder. Now, what is that? Well, it's a disorder when you have to depend on other people to pretty much help you out and to function. And I think, not Chris, but maybe Chris. But I think Peter definitely has this disorder for sure. He has to get Lois to constantly cook dinner, drive him, and also basically do most of the household duties. And one funny gag, do you guys remember when Peter was drowning in soup and Lois had to help him out in that mental episode when with Peter. Yeah, I think you guys know the one, but yeah, but those are all of Peter's disorders, at least for classic Peter. Modern Peter, on the other hand, oh my God. I mean, where to start? Okay, let's put it this way, guys. Modern Peter has all the disorders that classic Peter has, but they go into more negative aspects of it. I would say he has narcissistic personality disorder and even also borderline personality disorder. But due to the nature of Modern Family Guy, they're extremely episodic and don't really have much continuity. So this is the only disorder I'm going to be adding from Modern Peter, but it's a very significant one. We have antisocial personality disorder. Yep, Modern Peter has this 100%. Well, let's just discuss what he does to everybody around him. Peter's murder count is probably up by the hundreds. There's probably a whole wiki based off of that. He basically abuses his kids, abuses Meg, which is a huge one. Abuses Lois, which Lois gets a divorce. He admits that he never loved Lois for years, which just doesn't make sense. Now you guys see why I refer to Classic Peter and Modern Peter as separate characters, because Classic Peter would never do that. And he wants to act like that he learns his lesson from time to time, but obviously in the next episode, that doesn't happen whatsoever. And yes, guys, don't get me wrong. During the model seasons of Family Guy, pretty much almost everybody acts like psychopaths. I mean, yeah, there's a very few exceptions, but this is due to the change in the writing staff and Seth MacFarlane not really being a writer for the show anymore as much in the future seasons, as he's mainly wants to go steer towards voice acting. So I wouldn't blame him for, saying like from how the character is acting like now, but no, but this still doesn't change the fact that Peter has severe flanderization. It's pretty bad. After he just did all these crimes as is listed before and showed on screen. But now, guys, I'm going to get into why I really love Peter, at least in the first 4 seasons, as a character. Like I said before, Peter in the first 4 seasons don't have his flaws. He's a very unique character in the sense that, yeah, he's a flawed character, but who isn't flawed? Peter still basically respects his kids. He still respects Chris a lot. He loved Meg back then. Stewie was weird. He had this weird relationship with Stewie, but it was still fine. And obviously, he loves his wife, Lois. So, and I think Peter, though with his shenanigans, did the things in the wrong way, he still cared for his family at the end of the day. Modern Peter, on the other hand, is no such creature. Like, when do you guys see Modern Peter doing anything nice for his family past season 7? Guys, you guys remember when Peter admitted that basically he never liked the kids? And then when the kids basically was outcasting them as they should, he was just going to go give them a video game console just to bribe them to love him again. Yeah, what disgusting behavior. But yeah, overall, Classic Peter is a really good character. And that's why I separate both of these characters, because they're just 2 different characters in my eyes. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for 10 subscribers. I just started this YouTube channel. I would not think I would get 10 subscribers this fast, if I'm being honest. I really love that you guys did that. So thank you guys so much. And there's more videos coming out soon, so stay tuned.